Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Scraps Saturday. For this Saturday's video, I tackled the problem of that bag of fabric scraps that we all have, or that a lot of us have lying around the place, especially those long thin strips of fabric. And I turned them into altered, decorated, whatever you like to call them, paper clips. So you can see this one here, it has a right angle pocket at the front and it's decorated with those trims and scraps that we have as well, and you can put a little tag into it. Another way, cutting small tags, another way of using up your scraps, you can put a tag or one of these little tickets. This is one of the Prima tickets, I think it's the lavender one. So you can add these to your junk journals, clip them onto a page, or use them for holding journaling cards or any kind of embellishments in place. So that's one, and this is another one, just a plain pocket. And I've hand stitched these particular ones, and this one has a row of stitching across here, and they're all stitched with, there again, scraps of embroidery thread, and it has pom-pom trimming at the bottom once again, so you can put your tag into it. Or with a bit of a squeeze, you can put your tag into it. And here's another one of the right angled ones. A great way of using up all those little scraps we have lying around the place. That's more with a bit of lace. Yes, the lace is a bit off the centre, but sure, that happens. And the pocket is here, slightly bigger, so that tag goes in. And these are, I've kept these little embellishments, these little paperclip embellishments flat, because I'm thinking that most people don't want to be adding a lot of bulk to their journals. And even if you do want to add bulk, you can just put a crochet flower or something on the front. This one is a kind of a double. I'll show you, you can put a ticket in the front and a tag in the back. So plenty of space for little notes and little tags or whatever you like. And here's another one. Now for this one, I tried gluing the strip of ribbon, and as you can see the glue. That's why I prefer to stitch rather than, glue my stuff. But I did try glue on this one, and I do not like the effect. And that's just a row of running stitch all around. And here's a nice vintage style tag, upholstery fabric, and it has the little right angled pocket here at the front. And you could also put something like these little playing cards that I got in the works in. That would be nice in Alice in Wonderland junk journal. So there we are, and now I'm just going to show you quite quickly. There's more tags that'll fit in. That's a little double tag. Great way of using up your scraps. So what you need is, of course, paper clips. Now the paper clips I used are the 2-inch wide ones. I don't think it would be worth my while making them any smaller, because they would be very fiddly and they wouldn't really be able to hold anything bar something really, really tiny. So what you do is you get your paper clip and you cut or you tear a long narrow strip of fabric. Yes, this is the unicorn fabric, and I've all these strips left over from the time I was making the cotton masks. So you cut your strip about, or tear it to be about 1 3/4 inches. As I said, the clips are 2 inch, these are 2 inches wide, so you just need your fabric a tiny smidgen narrower than the clip. And I'm using the clip the paper clip on the horizontal, and you put your fabric over the bottom bar, over the continuous bottom bar, so that the clip will actually work as a clip. Now this is the trickiest bit. I just try and feed wait a minute, I just try and feed a corner of the fabric in. These things never work when you're trying to show them, but anyway, I just feed a corner of the fabric in here. And just stretch it out so that it goes across. And then I bring about an inch of it down at the back just to give a bit of security and stability to the clip. And then if you're making the straight pockets, all you have to do is just fold it up and fold it up here again for a double. That would be a single pocket, and you could cut it across here, and you have your little pocket here for the tag or whatever you want to put. And then you can either tidy it up by bringing the end around to the back and cutting it and then sewing it, or you could just cut it across here and hide the frayed edge, or leave the frayed edge if you like it, or tidy it up by putting a bit of trim on it and then stitch the whole thing together. If you want to make one of the right angle pockets, I'm going to cut it now. Actually, I have one here made up. I'm going to do this one here. All you would have to do is cut your fabric first, and then put it through the clip as I've shown you. Then fold it up like this. Just fold it up until it reaches the top again, then cut it, and then fold it back down either to the left or the right, and that way you have the good side of the fabrics shown. Then stitch across here. That's the most important bit of all. Stitch across here, tight up to the bar of the paper clip, and this will keep the paper clip in place, and it'll stop it doing this when you're trying to attach it to a journal. And then stitch down the sides, across the bottom if you like, and up here, and that will hold all the bits together. You could also cover the back either with paper or with another bit of fabric if you didn't like the rough ends showing. But I don't think it matters. I think if it's for a junk journal, it's just nice to have the kind of homemade, kind of handmade rough look about it. Well, not really a rough look, but you know what I mean. It doesn't look machine made. Of course, you could use a machine to stitch down the side, but it would be fairly hard to get a sewing machine in there unless you used a zipper foot. It's actually a lot quicker to sew these than to get out a sewing machine. I mean, to sew them by hand than to get out a sewing machine. And then you could sew down your fold as well, you know, sew down the edge of the fold. You could, if you know any fancy embroidery stitches, you could put them down there. You can decorate it with beads, with trimmings, ribbon, whatever you have. Now I'll show you again with this one. I'll turn this one into a little folded tag. I have the fabric through, and then I'll decide what length I want my tag. Bring it up there, bring the fabric back up like that, and then, sorry about that, cut the fabric, and then just fold the end and get it into place. Then you can hold it in place with pins, and of course start by stitching tight across to the bar and then down. I usually get out the yarn and press the fold. It just makes everything so much easier. And that's all. That's all there is to making these tags. As I said, there's the two types. There's the pocket one. I'm sure there are others, and also you could use much bigger paper clips and make you know, a much larger altar clip that could, you know, you could put a little booklet into the pocket. But I prefer the smaller ones. I think 2 inches is enough. You don't really want to overload a journal with too much detail. You know, we want every page to have a bit of detail on it, not too much. You can see here this one here, the way it works. And any kind of rough stitching or anything can be just hidden by a layer of trim. So that's all, except I'll show you now what I'm doing with my embroidered tags that I showed you, I think it was last week. See this one here, that has herringbone stitch on the fold. And you could do exactly the same thing with paper. Now, I'm not claiming this is my original idea. I'm sure other people have done it. It's just I haven't seen it, and I don't have the time or the energy to go around looking at everyone's YouTube channel and checking them out. So there you are. There's a pocket one ready to sew. Yes, just got one pocket in it. Yes, it is pink. Anyway, now I'll show you my tags. This was the tag I was working on last week. Put this out of the way so I don't distract you. So I finished it off by running a row of buttonhole stitch all around the edge. And then at the bottom I had scraps of sari silk, and I made little trim, a little ruffle trim with it. Or a little pleated trim, I think it is. So that's it, and I am going to plan a series on stitching and embroidery, and I'm thinking of doing the introductory video next Wednesday or Thursday. So if you'd like to see that, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel and that you have the notifications bell turned on. So, and here I started another tag. You can see the shape of the tag at the back. And I won't just be doing tags, I'll also be doing postcards, maybe little pictures, whatever takes my fancy. It's just a way of showing people how to use how easy it is to embroider and to make small things that can be added to your journals. I'm coming at the embroidery and stitching from a paper crafter's point of view, and rather than, somebody who just does embroidery. I want to make projects that you can incorporate into your cards or your journals, or that make nice little racks to send to friends. So this is the start of the tag, and I'm sure you know why I've put hope on it. If you don't, you must have been living, God, in a cave somewhere for the last year or two. So that's the start of a tag, and this tag will be just to show the straight stitches of embroidery. That's running stitch, back stitch, stem stitch, straight stitches, outline stitches, and a little bit of decoration. So I'm planning to have this introductory video up next Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't decided about it yet. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and if you're interested in thread, embroidery, stitching, please join me for next Wednesday, I think. Mind yourselves. Bye.